Australia vs Turkey 2-0 FIFA World Cup 2026. The FIFA World Cup often reminds us that football is not always won by the team with the ball. Sometimes it belongs to the team that defends with discipline, waits patiently, and strikes when the opportunity appears. Australia entered its opening Group D match against Turkey as the underdog. Turkey arrived with one of the tournament's most exciting young squads and controlled much of the game from start to finish. But after 90 minutes in Vancouver, it was the Socceroos walking away with all 3 points. Quote of the match: "Football isn't about who controls the game. It's about who controls the moments that matter." Match overview. Australia faced Turkey in a Group D fixture of the 2026 FIFA World Cup on June 13, 2026, at BC Place in Vancouver. Kickoff took place at 9 p.m. local time, PDT, in front of 54,500 spectators, creating one of the loudest atmospheres of the opening weekend. Australia wore its traditional yellow shirts with green shorts, while Turkey appeared in its all-red kit. Coming into the match, much of the attention surrounded Turkey's talented attacking players, especially their creative midfield led by Arda Güler. Australia, meanwhile, introduced a youthful lineup filled with World Cup debutants, relying on organisation, defensive structure, and quick transitions rather than extended spells of possession. Few expected the Australians to dictate the result, but the match would quickly prove that possession alone does not decide football matches. The story of the match. From the opening whistle, Turkey looked determined to impose themselves. They circulated the ball confidently, pushed their fullbacks high up the pitch, and repeatedly searched for openings through Arda Güler and Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Australia accepted long periods without possession, defending compactly and waiting for opportunities to counterattack. Turkey created the first dangerous moments with several long-range efforts, forcing Australia to remain alert. Goalkeeper Patrick Beach was called into action early and immediately showed why Australia's coaching staff had trusted him with a World Cup debut. Everything changed in the 27th minute. Moments after Beach denied Arda Güler at one end, Australia launched a lightning-fast counterattack. Paul Okonengsler delivered an excellent forward pass into space when Nestory Irankunda used his pace to race beyond the Turkish defence. Keeping his composure, he finished low past goalkeeper Gürkan Kaka to give Australia a surprising 1-0 lead. The move perfectly demonstrated Australia's game plan: absorb pressure, then attack with speed and precision. Turkey responded immediately. Abdolkarim Bardaki nearly equalised with a powerful strike from distance, but Patrick Beach produced one of the finest saves of the opening round, stretching full length to push the ball onto the post. That moment preserved Australia's advantage and proved to be one of the match's defining plays. After half-time, Turkey increased the pressure even further. Coach Vincenzo Montella introduced Kenan Yildiz at the break to add more attacking quality, while later substitutions brought on Yunus Akgün, Soler Özkan, Mutt Mulder, and Deniz Gül in search of an equaliser. Australia answered with fresh legs of its own, introducing Nishan Velupillay, Tet Yengi, Jason Geria, Jackson Irvine, and Aziz Behich to maintain defensive intensity and preserve energy. Despite wave after wave of Turkish attacks, Australia remained disciplined. In the 72nd minute, Turkey produced another excellent opportunity when Zeki Çelik found space inside the penalty area, but Beach once again stood tall to deny the effort from a difficult angle. It was another crucial intervention that kept Australia's clean sheet intact. Only 3 minutes later, Australia delivered the decisive blow. In the 75th minute, Conor Metcalfe capitalised on a Turkish turnover in midfield, advanced toward the edge of the penalty area, shifted the ball onto his left foot, and curled a superb finish into the bottom corner. Against the run of play, Australia had doubled its advantage, stunning the crowd and leaving Turkey with a mountain to climb. Turkey continued pressing until the final whistle, but Australia's defensive line refused to break. Remarkably, the match produced no red cards, while only one yellow card was shown late in the contest when substitute Yunus Akgün was cautioned in the 86th minute. Australia completed a memorable 2-0 victory in one of the biggest opening round surprises of the tournament. Match analysis. This match became a fascinating tactical battle between two completely different philosophies. Turkey dominated possession for most of the evening, patiently building attacks and controlling the rhythm of play. Their midfield completed hundreds of passes and repeatedly forced Australia into a deep defensive block. On paper, Turkey looked like the superior side for long stretches. Australia never tried to compete in that battle. Tony Popovic's team deliberately surrendered possession, choosing instead to remain compact, limit central passing lanes, and wait for transition opportunities. Every Australian player defended with discipline, making it extremely difficult for Turkey to create high-quality scoring chances despite their territorial dominance. One of the biggest stories was the performance of goalkeeper Patrick Beach. Making his competitive World Cup debut, he delivered 8 saves and repeatedly frustrated Turkish attackers. His early stop from Badaki and later saves against Gullah, Selik, and Aktürkoğlu allowed Australia to remain confident while defending for long stretches. Several analysts describe his performance as one of the finest goalkeeping displays of the tournament's opening round. Australia also executed its counterattacks with exceptional efficiency. While opportunities were limited, the Socceroos converted 2 of their clearest chances through Irankunda and Metcalfe. Both goals reflected excellent decision-making and clinical finishing rather than sustained attacking pressure. For Turkey, the defeat highlighted a recurring football lesson: dominance in possession must eventually produce goals. Although they generated numerous attempts, many came from distance or under heavy defensive pressure, allowing Australia's organised backline to remain in control. Their substitutions increased attacking energy but ultimately failed to unlock one of the tournament's most disciplined defensive performances. Match statistics. Statistically, the match appeared almost one-sided in Turkey's favour, except where it mattered most. Turkey controlled approximately 72% of possession, leaving Australia with only 28%, the lowest possession figure Australia has ever recorded in a FIFA World Cup match. They also outshot the Socceroos by 30 attempts to 9, forcing Patrick Beach into 8 saves throughout the evening. Despite that attacking volume, Australia defended superbly and prevented Turkey from finding the breakthrough. Australia finished with 2 goals from 9 shots, while Turkey ended the night scoreless despite its 30 attempts. The Socceroos earned 3 corner kicks, compared with 8 for Turkey, reflecting the sustained pressure applied by the Turkish attack. Yet Australia's defensive organisation ensured that those set pieces rarely produced clear opportunities. Discipline played almost no role in the outcome. The match featured no red cards, and only 1 yellow card, shown to Turkey's Yunus Akgün late in the second half. Instead of physical play deciding the contest, it was Australia's defensive discipline, goalkeeping excellence, and ruthless finishing that separated the two teams. Australia arrived in Vancouver with modest expectations. 90 minutes later, they had produced one of the standout upsets of the opening round. While Turkey controlled possession, created more chances, and spent much of the night attacking, Australia demonstrated that organisation, resilience, and clinical finishing remained some of football's most powerful weapons. With 3 valuable points secured, the Socceroos left Vancouver full of confidence heading toward a crucial showdown with the United States, while Turkey faced immediate pressure to respond in its next Group D match. Sometimes the most memorable victories are not won by controlling the game. They are won by mastering the moments that matter most.